Okay. So, in the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Why did I even say that? I have no idea. What I was thinking was actually is that I have been coaching all day, and the ghost of Allie Willis appeared to me in a thought and said, "Put on some lipstick. You look like a corpse." When we had the luck to visit her at the stately Allie Willis mansion, before we got our selfie together, she put on some lipstick. So, I did the same right now. So, hey, Destination Declutter TikTok Live, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as I promised, because I'm a good keeper of promises, both to myself and to you. So here I am. And I will tell you, I just spent a bunch of time planning some, planning some travel that's not going to happen, but it was fun to plan. So good morning, Barbara Dean. I'm glad you think it's nice to hear my voice. I used to be on radio. Hey everybody, I'm on the radio. I love it. I used to do college radio back in the day. Not so much. I actually was so completely shy. It took me a year to actually dare to get on the microphone. But I loved music so much that I wanted to go into that. So, hey, Irish Pink, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's an evening TikTok live, and as I promised, the folks who were on yesterday's TikTok live, at the very tail end of that, what I noticed was there was a theme. There was a theme of people asking about two topics of clutter. So I thought that this evening I would put a little structure around today's TikTok live. Okay, a little structure like a breeze block, some structure, but then a little breeze through it. So today I would like to share. So the two topics that came up the other night or the other day that a wicked lot of people were asking about was bedroom, decluttering your bedroom, and then also paper decluttering. Paper decluttering. So if you have a question, pardon me, talking about paper, I'm just shutting some tabs on my computer here. I would love to help you with specific questions about paper decluttering from now until like 7:30, and then we'll switch it up to bedroom decluttering. If you don't have any specific questions about those, that's cool. Maybe what you could do is use this time as I'm just, maybe even going into that room. Hey, how about that? So bedroom decluttering. Perhaps you are on a mobile device. Look at me. I'm pretending like I'm holding a mobile device. My phone. I would hold my phone, but it's right here. And you're able to be mobile with my message. Maybe you go into your bedroom and just check it out. Is your bedroom cluttered? All right, LBD Jesus Lover is saying, I just started on my bedroom and it is the worst. And Nisi is saying, and Barbara is saying, lol, I'm working on both of those. Perfect timing, okay? So, for the folks that are saying, my bedroom's the worst, what's this? Before we even start with what's wrong with it, hear me out. Destination decluttered. I know that I can't see past the thing, but the heart has not fallen. The heart is your destination. Is just take a moment and ask yourself, what do I want my bedroom to look like? And when you answer that, before you tell me, I would love for you to take a moment and write it down. Ask yourself, what do I want my bedroom to look like? I will describe mine. I like it. It's very simple. There's not a lot to dust. There's not a lot of tchotchkes. It is very simple, yet cheerful and colorful, but restful at the same time, paint color-wise. So it looks cheery and happy and yet restful. It's minimal. There are the few surfaces there that are clear, and there's not a lot of extraneous stuff there. So Dana is mentioning a good part of the bedroom, which is the closets. So Dana is saying, I have been working decluttering my walk-in closet all day long. Excuse me. So how do you want your closet to look? Now you can tell me in the comments, but I would so much rather. It is so much more powerful for you to get a pen or a pencil if you prefer, get some paper, do it the old-timey way. Gather around, chillin', and write it down. The other thing too is, especially with the bedroom, how do you want to feel when you're in your bedroom? Now, this is both when you go in and out of it during the day if you do that, but, excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. Let me try this. How do you want to feel in your home, in your bedroom, when you wake up in the morning? When you wake up and you open your eyes, how do you want to feel? I want to feel encouraged, well-rested, peaceful, encouraged. Did I already say encouraged? Like starting out the day, good. Not looking around and going, ugh. Okay. Free of clutter. How do I want to feel when I go into my bedroom and I'm about to go to sleep? I want to feel like it is a calm, restful environment. There's not a lot of chaos. There's not a lot of clutter, so that I can kind of settle down and ease my way into a nice sleep. Now, here's the other one. The third one would be, how do you want your bedroom to function? Now, I say function. Here's an interesting function of the bedroom, and maybe this applies to you, is I want it to be nice and dark when I go to sleep. I fall asleep better when the room is dark, so I have room darkening curtains. Okay? I don't want I don't want to trip on anything when I'm walking to the bathroom inevitably in the middle of the night. So think about these things that the way you want it before you even start. Okay? Oh my God, Susan Porter, right there. Seriously, I was saying that exactly when you said it. Susan is saying, not afraid I'm going to trip over something on the way to the bathroom. High five, my friend. Same thing. I know I get up in the middle of the night to pee. It's just how I'm wired. I don't want to stub a toe. I don't want to trip on anything. I don't want to step on something that's going to hurt. Like when we had a dog, he would sometimes leave his bones around, you know? Yeah, rested when I wake up in the evening, so invited to just snug up and relax. Yeah, okay. So notice what you do when you set an intention, when you conjure up in your mind what you want it to look like, it will make what you do and how you do it and what you do easier, because you know what you're aiming for. If you're just kind of all over the place, you don't know what you're aiming for, you might spread your energy. So, yeah, the struggle is real. Yeah, stubbing a toe in the middle of the night, no fun. So what are the things that are keeping you from your bedroom looking and feeling and functioning like you want it to? What is the particular thing that is cluttering it up? Is it clothing? Is it, I don't know, books? Is it too many sheets? What is it? Let's get specific. What's the stuff that's cluttering up your bedroom? Okay. I love it. Miracles in Money is saying, I am reorganizing my makeup and having fun. Good. Okay. I love that. I want you to have fun. Everybody here, I want you to have fun while you're decluttering. That's why I do what I do. I think this can be fun. Notice this. Mimi of 3 Cool Kids says, thanks to you. Oh, thanks to me. I've decluttered 1 room in my house, 4 more to go. Awesome for chunking it down. Okay. All right. LBD's got books and clothes. Baskets of clothes like a minefield. 90% for me is clothing. Okay. Hey, G Schnauzer. Nice to see you. Clothing in the bedroom. We're getting specific. We have narrowed it down to a room in the house and one particular clutter thing, category of clutter, clothing. Here's what I want to suggest. Now, this is where one-on-one coaching can be a lot more effective, because I can ask you more specific questions. But I want you to, and Susan Porter is saying, mostly stuff that doesn't belong in the bedroom. I've stashed stuff there. Okay, blankets and sheets. Cat Mama, nice to see you. I got your thing for a sticker. And thank you for the kind note. It's winging its way to you tomorrow when I walk down to the post office. Let's start with clothing in the bedroom. I have a hunch, I have a spidey sense, sneaky feeling that the reason you have your clothing on surfaces cluttering up your bedroom is because if you open up a drawer or you open up a door, stored clutter, doors and drawers, that you have all of your storage space for your current clothing that's on top of the surfaces is currently being taken over. Your drawers are filled and your closet is filled with clothing that you probably are not wearing all of it, are you? That's where you want to start. Start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. Actually, we technically already started at the end, but I want you to start with going through your closet and your bureau and saying, hey, yeah, okay. And this is where you start the decluttering. Clutter is not the stuff you love. Clutter is not the clothing you're currently wearing. The clothing you're currently wearing is probably on top of a surface because you wore it and then you washed it and you folded it. The things that's jamming you up is the stuff that you're not wearing. So get curious and loving and kind to yourself and sound like, and just start to pull out the stuff that you say, I'm not wearing this and this is easy to get rid of. And sometimes people offer pulling all of the stuff out and laying it on the bed. I have an issue with that. I feel like that can be overwhelming where you have all of this stuff on the bed and you're like pulling it all out. I think it's better for you to chunk it down. Here's what I mean. Go drawer by drawer. Go foot by foot in the closet. Okay? So notice these things. I love it. Everybody's talking to Kit Kat. Checking in with y'all. Hello, I'm cleaning my attic and took out 11 33-gallon bags of trash. Rock on. High five. There we go. Okay. Get curious about the clothing that you're not wearing and why you're keeping it. Hear me out. If you're like, I don't know why I'm keeping this and I can easily put it in a donation bag, put the clothing you're not wearing in the donation bag. However, if you have a story in your head, we all have stories in our head, and if you're telling yourself, I might wear that someday, but it currently does not fit comfortably on my body, I want you to think of this to give yourself some space. Again, we're aiming for a destination decluttered bedroom. So to get yourself some space to put away the clothing that you're currently wearing, you may need to temporarily move the clothing that you're not wearing that you think you might at some point. What I recommend, this is almost like the seasonal clothing. Let's say, all of your clothing fits, but you have your winter clothes and your summer clothes. I have this right here in this closet behind me. In this closet behind me, I will share with you that I have two clear totes, about, I don't know, like this height. They are easy to pick up. I get them at Target. They're like $5-7 or something like that. I have two of them. And what that has in it is like my folded summer clothes, my t-shirts, my lighter pajamas, things like that. It's the stuff that I'm not wearing now. If I tried to keep my winter and my summer clothes in my bureau, I wouldn't have enough room for them. So I pulled them out by category. Everything fits. I hope it does. And so I pull out the stuff that is not in season. When the seasons change, I always think of that song. I flip it. I pull out the winter clothes and I replace it. And that's how I have a nice clear surface. Literally I have, and I'm not showing off, it's just a statement of fact, this double dresser, three drawers from IKEA, and all it has to the top of it is a lamp. Now occasionally it will have a pile of clothes on it that I need to put away, but when I go to open up a drawer and put it away, it's easier because there is space for it. Okay? So chunking it down, loving it. Being hopeful is not a reason to keep it. Now, I'm not going to dash your hopes. But if you honestly think you're going to wear it, then put it in a tote. Label that tote. Size whatever clothing. And put a date on it. And then give yourself, I like to say this, everybody, give yourself the opportunity to become the person you want to be. If you want to be a different size body, you're going to have to do different things to make your body be a different size. Now I'm talking like Rosanna Dana. Allow yourself the opportunity to do that, but then you're going to have to do the stuff to change your body. Give yourself the chance. But if you're ready to say, you know what, I tried it and it just ain't working and I'm cool with my body the way it is, That might just make it the easier thing. But do it drawer by drawer, foot by foot. Make it easy. Okay? Okay. All right, a lot of sentimental items. Okay. Yeah, Carla is even saying, and look at creating yourself a timeline. I've decided to give myself a year. If I can't wear it, it must go. And notice that you're giving yourself a deadline. So work towards that goal of I'm going to give myself a year and see if I can change the size of my body. And if I do, I might be able to wear these clothes again. So give yourself a timeline. Treat yourself, try to become the person you want. But if you've noticed that it's been 2 or 3 or 4 years, I mean, it's crazy for me to realize my pre-COVID body was now like 5 years ago. I've also gone through the change. It is so much harder for me to lose weight. I'm gaining it in places I didn't. So I have decided to kind of try to love my body the way it is. Okay? Easily getting rid of the stuff you don't use, or not even easily, but removing the things you don't use makes space for what you do use, the clothing that you wear all the time. Okay? Deanna, I'm giving myself 25 years. I'm on year 20. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Carla is saying organization items have become a clutter problem for me. I can share with you that I personally think what can jam you up is, because I've seen this specifically in my mother's house, is thinking that buying a container is a solution to a problem. Not until you have sorted out your stuff. Not until you've sorted out your stuff. If you're buying a basket, if you're buying a tray, if you're buying a thing with a bunch of shelves in it, and you haven't sorted and decided what you really want to keep, it can just add to your clutter. Okay? Okay, what do we got going here? Oh, there we go. Tamara, I'm here. I'm going to be here for the next 45 minutes or so. Gwen McKinney Shep is saying, celebrating real estate listing pictures completed and no clutter in the way. Thank you for your guidance. Well, you're welcome. I show up in the spirit of can do and compassion and helpfulness and all that good stuff to remind you that you can talk to yourself like I'm talking to you right now. That's really what coaching does. It reminds you to quiet down the backseat drivers, those unhelpful voices that are trying to keep you safe and stuck, but you don't want to be safe and stuck. You want to be safe and moving along towards the destination you want. Notice how when I speak in this loving, encouraging way, I am quieting down the backseat drivers, and when your backseat driver voices, the unhelpful ones, are quieted down, that gives an opportunity for your own spirit to connect up with the good words that I'm saying and be like, yeah, I can do this. This is easy. So Gwyneth is saying thank you for your guidance, but the wonderful thing is I want to empower. I want to give all of this right back to all y'all. I am just a mirror. I want to reflect back to you all the things you have done to get your home and life looking and feeling the way you want it to. It's not me. It's not about me. I didn't get into coaching to have it be about me. I want you to remind you or awaken in you the power that you have to change your life if it isn't working for you. Okay? Yeah, Danielle, that's saying the thing is when you do lose, it's fun to buy new things. If you lose weight, it is fun to buy new clothes. Heck, if you gain weight, it's fun to buy new clothes because feeling good in the body you have, feeling good in the present, and taking care of yourself in the present will set you up for success in the future because you're feeling good now. There we go. Miracles and Money woke up at 5 a.m. is doing the constant decluttering process. Now, I hope you're taking breaks like a road trip. I hope you are taking breaks and enjoying the process. I hope when you get tired, you're resting. I hope when you are getting parched, you take a sip of water. That you're stretching your body, that you're not just like nose to the grindstone with the fear, I know this is real, the fear of if I stop, I won't get started again. Okay? Okay, and random empty containers sitting in my closet. Sounds like some random empty containers could be filled and perhaps donated somewhere. You know? So notice in your, remember we were talking initially about destination. Here, let me readjust here because I can point to the heart, because the heart, It's all about how it makes you feel. Destination decluttered bedroom. If there's clothing and stuff that isn't fitting into your closet or your bureau, go through it chunk by chunk, piece by piece, and pull out what's no longer doing it for you, either by donating it or storing it somewhere else. That will make it easier for you to put away your clothing that you are wearing. And trust me, I know this for my own fact and for everybody, is we think we wear all our clothing. Even play one of those games that people recommend about, like, turning your hangers backwards and checking yourself, or saying, I can't wear anything twice until I've worn everything in my closet. What you're going to find out pretty much is you wear 20% of your clothing 80% of the time. I found that out about myself, and especially because I don't work in an office anymore, I've been easily able to weed out the clothes that I just don't wear on a daily basis. I have also kind of capsule wardrobed, I guess you'd call it, and I tend to wear the same thing over and over again. It just makes getting dressed easily, and but you and your sense of style. But having a place to put your clothing, talk about how you want it to be easy for you to find your clothes, put them on, wear them, wash them. When they're washed, put them away so you don't have a cluttered bedroom. Okay, hope that helps. There we go. Somebody says they got to organize their shoes. Same type of thing. PM. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly, P. Thought of having lots of storage containers helped, but just gave me a place for more stored clutter. Yeah. We think if we buy a container and we put the stuff in it that we've done something, but all we've done is delayed making a decision about what is this stuff, do I want it or not? Okay. One knack is saying I need to organize my shoes, but I don't know where probably to start. Yeah. What I would say is check out the shoes you wear all the time. Now, the neat thing is about when you're sorting through your items to declutter is categorizing them. Now, notice that you probably have sandals. Maybe you've got some flip-flops. You've got some boots. You've got some sneakers. You've got some fancy, like, high heel shoes. You've got some winter boots. Whatever your categories are, pull out one category and say to yourself, do I wear these? Are these comfortable? Or do they give me blisters? Did I used to wear them and now I don't anymore? Are they in good condition? Notice the stuff you tend to gravitate towards. And notice, gravitate. I'm being pulled towards wearing those shoes. I tend to wear those ones a lot. Those ones I never wear. And notice the stuff you don't wear and say, is it time for me to release this and let it go and maybe somebody else could wear these? And if the answer is an easy yes, put it in a donation bag and create a donation bag right now. The fewer shoes you have, the easier it is to get dressed too. Now, I'm not saying you have to be totally boring about it, but I have whittled down what I wear, and I am very happy with, feeling stylish and the things that I tend to wear over and over again. Oops, sorry. I got a heater on because my hands are freezing, and it's affecting the light. Okay? Christina, nice to see you. I love it. Okay? All right, somebody says sometimes I get aggravated. Yeah, notice the aggravation. Yep. Yes, that no one even notices when you wear the same thing. And here's a funny thing too. I think about this. Isn't it kind of crazy when you think about those like one-use outfits with very few exceptions? It's like, oh, I wore this thing once. I can't wear it again. You just spent the money. I always want to rent stuff like that, So, okay, there we go. No one saying says, for me, being disabled helps with shoe clutter. Only keeping the flats. Out go heels, the boots, and the sandals. Yeah, high heels. Gail is saying, I donated 10 pairs of shoes that I'd never wear again in high heels. Yep. It's just knowing who you were. I used to wear a whole bunch of different shoes, but my feet have changed. I used to wear Keds, the little cheerleader sneakers all the time until I realized that I was getting older and plantar fasciitis, that I needed more support in my shoes. So now I have shoes with more support. I used to wear heels, and I used to be kind of used to it, though they were never comfortable. And then I realized I don't want to wear shoes like that anymore. As I was calling them, they're like sit-down shoes. Sit-down shoes and stand-up pants. And I want to be comfortable in my body because when I am uncomfortable, I am cranky. So being comfortable in your own skin and being comfortable in your own clothes makes you feel better. So now Lola is asking, can you talk more about chunking it down? Yes, I can. So to me, chunking it down is part of the, like, it is the most important way to overcome overwhelm. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, there's too much, it means that you're looking at everything at the same time. Oh, thank you. Somebody just signed up for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. I love it. If you want to do that, destinationdecluttered.com/join. We get a free Zoom call, free group Zoom call. It's coming up next week. Next week. So yeah, get onto the mailing list now. Okay? But we were talking about chunking it down. When you're overwhelmed, it's hard to get started. Somebody even said, hard to get started. One of the things that may keep you from getting started is being overwhelmed with all the things. So don't overwhelm yourself with all the things. Put on some blinders. Instead of looking at your whole house, look at one room. Instead of looking at all of the drawers in your bureau, pick one drawer. Chunk it down to smaller and smaller sections where it gets to the point where instead of feeling overwhelmed, too big, can't do it, you say chunk it down smaller and smaller until you feel like, oh, I could do that. Now the chunking down happens in a couple of ways. I have a few videos about this on my TikTok, my TikTok page. So if you haven't watched those, you might want to find those. Also, if you haven't followed my TikTok page and you want to do that, that'd be awesome. Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, at your service. Chunking down. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can do it by space. I'm only going to work on this 2-foot, section of my desk, and I'm going to make it look good, and I'm going to put things away, and I'm going to throw things out, and I'm going to make some decisions. I'm going to organize some stuff. You can do it by time. I'm going to give myself a half an hour to just putter around the house and, pick up the trash. I'm going to do it by, category. I'm going to go pick up all my clothes or, my shoes. I'm going to go sort through my category of shoes. Anything you can do to chunk it down, to make it so that your nervous system isn't activated, so you feel safe and peaceful and can do. When you think you can do it and feel you can do it, you can do it. When you think, oh, this is too much, oh, it activates my nervous system, you tend to not do anything. Okay? I hope that helps. Oh, thank you. Okay. What else do we have? Suzanne is saying, I donated so many clothes last weekend, now taking 40 pieces of dress clothes to dress for success. I love that, and you've brought up a really wonderful thing. One of the things that may make it easier for you to release the things you no longer wear, because you're thinking, well, that's still a good dress, is finding a place that you can donate things to that you feel good about the charity it goes to, the cause that your donation is going to help. So Dress for Success helps people who are going into the corporate world, but they may not have enough money to buy, the professional clothes. Think of what you are releasing from your life as helping somebody else. Okay? That might help you feel better about releasing things that it's like, well, that's still good. It's not like you're throwing it in the trash. Please do a lot of what you can. There are so many steps between you not wanting it and a landfill. There are. Get curious about it. You may not even know about that, but there are places you can donate. There are places you can sell. You can give away things. You can drop things off in a recycling center. There's so many things you can do to remove the things from your home without directly going to a landfill. Okay, I love this. You guys are so awesome because user 96249 is saying Beth at Destination Decluttered. Irish Pink is saying the mailing list has perks and my link is in the bio, which it is. And then Heidi D, thank you for saying make sure to follow her on YouTube as well. She uploads the TikTok lives there. Yeah, now I love doing this because I know what it's like to be overwhelmed and stuck with clutter. I was that way for a really long time. I still collect stuff and I have things. My house, you've seen me do videos around my house. It's not like I live like a monk, but there's a difference between being surrounded by just the things you love, the right amount that feels right to you, that feels easy to maintain, so that you're not spending all of your waking hours, especially now, you guys, when the weather, I'm kind of looking out, the weather is still dark, but this weekend we changed the clocks. Spring is coming. Summer is coming. Now, I live in Pennsylvania, so we get the 4 seasons here. Not Frankie Valley, Waka Waka, but when the weather's nice, I want to go outside and play. I want to be hanging out on my patio, listening to music, sipping on something cold, chilling with my friends. I don't want to spend my life dealing with taking care of stuff. I don't know. If you want to spend your time taking care of stuff, go right ahead. But I would prefer to have more time to do the things I want to do. And one of the ways that you can get time is to declutter, because it takes you a shorter amount of time to do everything when you have less stuff. Okay, so Traycycle is saying, I recently easily sold and got rid of tons of glassware on Marketplace, but couldn't toss old perfume. Okay, just notice that about yourself. Are you wearing that perfume? Now, the funny thing is about perfume and cosmetics and things like that is that those things actually have a shelf life because they start to break down chemically, and they may smell differently than when you first got them. Does the perfume smell as good? Does the sprayer even still work? Do you still even like that smell? I remember now, I don't wear any perfume because sometimes smells bother me and give me a headache. But I can think of back when I was in high school and experimenting with that stuff. Love's Baby Soft. There was like this musk thing, vanilla musk that I got from Avon. Muguet Dubois that I think I got at Medimart, then Walgreens. I wore it for a while, but then I was tired of it. It made me not feel good. Maybe you're just tired of that smell. You could donate it to somebody who wants to smell nice. You could spray your cat. Yeah, and you're right. Irish Pink is saying that the perfume could have a sentimental value. One of the most evocative of our scents to recall a memory is smell. The smell of, of garlic, the smell of the ocean, the smell of a candle, there we go. Yeah. I love it. Okay, PM. Wow, when you say that like that, it hits hard. I want to take care of stuff now so I can do things. Yeah. Do the things you want. Notice the fewer things you have, the fewer things you have to take care of. And everything you have has a certain amount of care. The more mugs you have, the more mugs you got to clean and put away. The fewer mugs you have, the fewer, you still have to clean them, but you just put them away and it's easier. The fewer things you bring in, then you get time. You get time to do the things you want to do when you're not always doing laundry, always cleaning the kitchen, always doing the dishes. Now, some of these things I mentioned, laundry and dishes, are cyclical, that you do have to do those, but to make it easy for you to put the stuff away so it's not cluttering up, reduce the number of things you have. Find homes for the items you have, the homes that make sense to you. Okay? Yeah, okay, Traycycle, you brought up a really good point, and I want to share this with folks because this is so true. It's like I'm not wearing it. I think it's still good, but I feel wasteful. That feeling of wasting something that you spent money on, that feeling, that thought, I am wasting money I spent, keeps people cluttered, keeps you cluttered probably. What I want to offer to you is, feeling like you're throwing away something good can feel stressful. It can activate your nervous system. You don't want to. I know I'm not using this, but I spent good money on this. It causes some tension. Having a further conversation with you to be just heartfelt and saying, but is me keeping this really bringing joy to my life? There are things in your life that in order for you to live a life of less clutter, you will have to throw away. You will survive it. But notice that it's bringing up a feeling. This thought brings a feeling. The feeling brings an action. When you think something and that makes you feel bad, you're going to hang on to something. When you think something a little bit more hopeful and you're going to feel better, you might be able to release it. Now, this isn't an overnight process, but it's a process worth experimenting with. So start with the easy stuff, the surface clutter, before you get to stored clutter and sentimental clutter. But say to yourself, this stuff that I have is getting in the way of the life I want to live. I love this. Yeah, Abbott Elementary. Today I was able to give someone on my Facebook dog stairs that my dog wouldn't use. Somebody was just talking about that. That's awesome. There we go. Yep, different things you can do it. Christina is saying, it's so interesting how when I let go of things I didn't want to, I realize I'm okay. I realize I'm okay and I feel lighter. Yes, sometimes we are afraid of giving away something because we feel like it's going to feel bad. But when you can remove something from your life and realize, hey, that didn't feel as bad as I thought it was, and actually it feels better, I feel lighter, makes it easier. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, Demora 20, and then I will mention for this. I feel guilty. Notice that. I feel guilty. The feel of guilt in my heart is causing my hand to cling on to the stuff that my mother collected. Your mom had fun collecting her collections. She wouldn't have collected otherwise. I'm a collector. I know freaking firsthand. But there's a distinct difference. If you don't love that collection, it's not bringing you joy. Remind yourself that sometimes the collection isn't even in the having of the stuff, it's the acquiring. I'm going out to a thrift store. I went to Brimfield. I got this on eBay. I had this wonderful, sometimes the acquisition, it's the hunting of it and the finding of it is the fun of it. Your mom had fun with that stuff. You should not expect yourself to have the same joy that your mom did. Your mom dug that stuff. And it's okay to release the stuff that doesn't do it for you. When you are keeping stuff that doesn't do it for you in your life, you are not giving your own life the opportunity to expand into its full blossomed awesomeness, because space is being kept. There's space that's being taken up by somebody else's stuff. But when you remove that stuff of theirs from your life can expand into it and you can do what you want with that time. Okay? I hope that helps. Now, as I promised, and Ote Panky, thank you for complimenting me on my glasses. I wear them because I need them. They're actually those ones that have like the little things that go on them. So sometimes it's kind of fun. Yeah, there we go. Bonnie is saying, I collected party wear. By the time I was able to hold the parties, I don't want to. But you can't part with the items. Bonnie, maybe you can find out a friend who's having a party and give them to them. Or heck, have a party. Or use them every day. Make every day a party. Every day you use those paper plates means you don't have to do the dishes. Break the seal. As Irma Bombeck said, light those candles. Burn those candles. Eat the chocolates. Use the good stuff. Your life is worth doing the stuff that brings you joy. Now, kind of on the flip side, I want to remember, because earlier in the call, I promised that we talked about clutter in the bedroom, and now I want to make sure that I hit clutter of the paperwork kind. Okay? Clutter of the paperwork kind. Okay? Because paperwork, especially now, you guys, taxes, not just getting your tax stuff to the tax people, but getting your taxes to the IRS, April 15th. We got like 5-6 weeks, which reminds me, I got to get my act together about that. I'm going to write that down myself. Taxes. Get clear about, okay, somebody says greeting cards. Gifts and greeting cards. Gifts and greeting cards. If you think about it, a greeting card is just a means of transmitting a feeling between people. Hey you, I love you, I was thinking about you. Here's a card to let you know I was thinking of you, right? The card itself is just the messenger. It's not the message. You can think, wow, thank you for thinking of me. And recycling that card isn't a bad thing. Now, you may keep some cards. You don't have to keep all of them. You get to do whatever you want to do. I know myself, I have a collection of Christmas cards and certain cards that people gave me. But to me, a card can have the same message as a text. We have a text thread going through with our friends and, sending those good vibes. You don't need a card to do that. And you can remember the good vibes without keeping the greeting cards. Okay? Jay is saying, I cut out the signature. Okay, if that helps you remember that, awesome. You can take a digital picture of things. Okay? Joanna 57, I think I just got your thing for the mailing list, so thank you. Yeah, there are many ways you do it. Yeah, you don't just shuffle it around in a pile. Just joking. Okay, so Paper. Paper is a physical representation of something. Get curious. This is where I will start it. And I want to kind of even back up to think of history. Think of your own history. I am thinking that you are of an age, like I am, pre-digital. So we remember, if you didn't have that piece of paper, you could get in trouble. If you didn't get the bill in the mail, you couldn't pay it. If you didn't have the evidence of I paid the bill, if somebody said, well, we didn't get your check, if you didn't have the statement and the paper copy of your check, you'd be like, yes, see, here, you cashed it. Times are different now. So we probably have, you may have some habits, paperwork-wise, that haven't been updated since the digital era. So notice that. You have things that worked for you in the past. Do those habits work for you and get you the results that you want now? And if you have paper that is clutter, I am going to guess that your habits with paper need to be updated so that it doesn't clutter you up. So get curious about the papers you are saving and ask yourself this simple question, without judgment, but with love and curiosity. Why am I saving this piece of paper? Ask yourself that question and please listen for your answer. Your answer is helping you discover how you can increase your life, making it better. Okay? Shuffling around of paper, not asking yourself, why am I keeping this? Oftentimes it's going to fall into two categories, maybe three. It's going to be, I am saving this paper because this paper reminds me I need to do something. I got a bill in the mail. I got to save this. I need to pay the bill. On the flip side, that same piece of paper, after you've paid the bill, I need to keep this piece of paper to prove that I kept the bill. So proof that you did something. A thing that makes you do something, proof that you did it. Another one could be, as somebody mentioned, paper of a sentimental value. Now, I admit, I have in my past saved sentimental paper. I save far less of it nowadays, but I still, every year, what I do is I have a little box right here, and anything that's sentimental, I put it in a box for that year, and then I have a shelf down the basement that I put it in there. That works for me, and my plan is, at a certain point, I don't know, when I'm 70, when I'm 80, maybe if I get terminally ill, I am going to, with joy, walk down my own memory lane and relive those things and share the stories with anybody who's around, including myself, and then I'll probably burn it all. Get curious about why you're saving these things. Now, my systems for saving paper do not impact, they are easy, they are simple, they are quick, and they do not clutter up my house. Ask yourself, do your systems do that? Okay? And if they don't, you can change it. What isn't working in your life to get you the life you want, you have the power to change it. So much of it, pretty much all of it is habit of thinking and feeling and doing. Habit of, oh, that's right, I'm so used to keeping those bank statements that I have now 10 years worth of them. Notice your habits. Change the habits that aren't serving you. Okay? Trey is saying, I need to do the dishes and clean the litter box, but I don't want to. I have to now that you're here. But here's another thing too. This is really interesting because my clients don't know each other, but it is really interesting to me that when I have, because I have multiple clients, every day of the week I have multiple clients that I coach one-on-one. And oftentimes, unbeknownst to them, there is a theme that runs through a certain day. I don't know if it has to do with the moon or just where people are at, but I want everybody to think about, what do I want to say? Accountability. Now, I show up as external accountability. Oh, you're here, I got to do it, Pavlov's dog. Okay, I would love for you to develop a little bit more of your own personal accountability. You're not doing it. Doing the dishes and cleaning the litter box, Trey, I will probably never see your dishes or your litter box, but you will. So I want you to think about it. I am a prompt for you to do those things, But you're doing it because you are going to feel better. You're going to feel better in your house when the dishes are done and the litter box is clean. It's going to smell better. It's going to feel better. It's going to be better for your kitties. So notice that, do it for yourself. You are worth living in a home that looks and feels and functions like you want it to. Okay? Now, Nancy Martinez, to get back to the paperwork, is saying, what about our kids' art and schoolwork? What about it? It's really interesting to me that I will share this with you from a historical perspective. I'm a Gen Xer, and I grew up in a house that my mother kept some of the stuff we did, but not all of it. So ask yourself why you're keeping all that stuff. Why am I keeping all of my kids' artwork? Or why am I keeping my kids' artwork? If you are keeping it for them, get them involved in the process. Ask them, do you want me to keep this for you? This is part of your history. You did this finger painting. Are you doing it because you're afraid they are going to be upset if you throw it away? Have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself about that. You may want to keep some of it. You may want to keep none of it. You may want to keep all of it. But feel good. This is the thing I'm all about now too. Feel good about the decisions you're making. If you decided I'm going to keep every stitch of artwork that my kids did because my mother threw all yours away, own it. Find a container to put it in and own that. But notice if it's cluttering up your life, is it really something you want to keep? Yeah, I love it. Cat Mama is asking, Nancy, can you give it to them? Some people have a lot of stuff saved for other people. Are you saving stuff? Ask yourself this question. Are you saving stuff that's cluttering up your home? Are you saving stuff for someone else? Is someone else's stuff cluttering up your home? Get those people involved in the decluttering process. This is your home. This is your life. If you are holding on to stuff for somebody else, I don't know how old they are, but get them involved in the process. Decluttering is a life skill. A life skill that everybody could get better at, because what you ask yourself is, what is this thing? Do I want this thing in my life? And being able to answer it and feel good about your answer. Can you imagine having that skill as a kid? No, that's okay, Mom. You can let that go. I don't want that thing. So that when later on in life they say, no, I don't want that, but I want more of this, I want less of that, how it makes you feel. Okay? I love it. Heidi says, got the tax bill on the 3rd, wrote the check and mailed it on the 3rd, and rewarded myself with a long dog walk. I love it. Now, hopefully the dog walk was long, or maybe you have one of them wiener dogs. With a long dog, you walked your long dog. Hey, kid. Okay. Virgo Kathy is saying, most of my paper is saved so I can go through it later. Again, curiosity. If you say, I'm going to do it later, are you doing it later? If you're not, what's the thing that's stopping you from doing it then? And what's the thing that's stopping you from doing it later? Sometimes it's the sheer quantity. Again, that overwhelm. Oh, it's too much. It's piling up so much. I'm overwhelmed by it. You can chunk that down. We talked about chunking down earlier. Chunk down your chunk down your paperwork into categories. Okay? Feels so good too. All right? What else do we have here? I'm going to back it up a little bit. Yeah, okay, Gail is saying, I don't want them to grow and leave. Yeah, notice that stuff causes you to feel a feeling. Yeah, a feeling of time is passing. Kids are growing. It's crazy. So my husband and I, we don't have kids, nor did we ever want to. So I'm blessed that that never happened. But I have nieces and nephews. They are my nephew's going to be 18 years old. Oh my God, talk about growing. We don't want to admit time is passing, and time is passing. Not to sound very dramatic, ta-da, time is passing. You and I are getting older. This is the youngest right now we will ever be. Tomorrow, we're going to be older. Are you living the life you want with the time you have? Is your home making it easier for you to live the life you want? Because it's easy to maintain, that you have space to do the stuff you want, and you get to spend as little time as possible fussing around with it so you can go out and play, to go out and live the life you want, to do the things. Even if when I say go out and play, it means flopping down on the couch and reading a book, or happily, without guilt, scrolling on TikTok. Or do you have the nagging feeling, I should be doing this, should be doing this? Coaching can help you with that. I'm just offering. Yeah, okay, totally. Keeping the stuff, it reminds you of things, history. Yeah. Okay, you feel bad about throwing away cards from your kids. You still love your kids still love you. Getting better at um, getting rid of things is something you can teach them as well. Yeah. Aw, such cool stuff. Yeah. Um, there we go. I called in the payment to the credit union. Went in, could show the where the money went, could not get the receipt. Yeah, notice how sometimes you save paperwork for, reasons like that. Okay? Yeah, Hiker Girl is saying, I'm saving my pictures and stuff, the kid stuff, but, it's like, get rid of the junk. Yeah. Okay, all sorts of good stuff. Procrastination. Procrastination, pushing it off till later, that's something you could do today. Ask yourself why you're not doing it today. Some of the stuff that we waste so much time thinking about, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta do it, picking at yourself about doing it, when you actually do it, it takes so much less time. The sooner you do the things you have to do, then you're on the other side of it. You can just move forward. Okay, yeah, notice KC2K is saying, sometimes I just dread looking at the bills, so I just pile them up. The dread. But you know what? When you dread it, you're dreading the abstractness of it. When you know exactly how much you owe and when you need it, then you can make a plan. Then you can make a plan. You can get in touch with people. You can say, I can't afford it. Can we make a payment plan? Can you return some things? Can you make more money? When you allow the abstract stuff to delay those things, it just makes matters worse. When you let it pile up, yeah, okay. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. Julie is saying, oops, excuse me, it flipped up. And just so you know, I'm only going to be on for about another 8 minutes. My husband just came home and we're going to eat some late dinner. Empty nest, keeping all your kids' stuff to hang on to the memories. Yeah. But here's an interesting thing. Now, as I said, I save tokens, I save objects and pieces of paper to remind me of the good times. Souvenirs. Souvenirs are an external item that prompts your brain to unlock the memory that the thing reminds you of. Just get curious. Are there other ways you could remember that story? Could you take a picture of an item and just have the digital version of it? Could you do something? Could you record telling the story? This is the time I met Paul McCartney. Do I have a picture of that thing that's going to remind you of it? Do you need to keep all of the things? Are the things that you're keeping telling you bad stories? That's the stuff you want to get rid of. Yeah. Old photos, total sentimental stuff. That's a different process. Sentimental items are a different category than surface clutter and stored clutter. So I suggest to you, practice decluttering with the easy stuff first. The stored clutter, the surface clutter, the clutter that's on your surfaces right now. Practice decluttering that stuff. Get good at decluttering that stuff. Get good at decluttering your stored clutter. You'll probably need to declutter your stored clutter because if your stuff's on your surfaces and you don't have room for what's on you don't have room for it, you got to declutter that. Then and only then, turn your attention towards sentimental items. Because you've built up the decluttering muscle of, do I want this in my life? What story does this tell? You'll also notice how freeing it is when you reduce the amount of things. Okay, Hiker Girl, strategy on where to start. Start at the end. You're a hiker girl. What gets you motivated to go on a hike? You're going to enjoy the journey, but you also probably have a destination. Your destination may be like, I'm going to walk 2 miles. Your destination could be like, you know what? I want to get to the top of that mountain. Your destination could be like, I am going to, go see that waterfall. When you are excited about where you're going, you start the journey. If you are not motivated, you're probably not excited about where you're going. So ask yourself why you're decluttering. This is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Start with the end in mind, as that guy says, the guy from The Habits of People, right? Get excited about what decluttering is how that's going to change your life in the positive. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much easier for me to do my laundry, to get dressed, to have people over, to leave the house to go on vacation and come back and it's nice and neat. that it just makes it easier for me to like find the stuff I want to use, even just with peace of mind, not always thinking I need to be doing something. Okay? So, yes, get curious. Now, motivation also has to do with your physical energy and your emotional energy and your decision making energy. So make sure your tank is full. Now I know you're a hiker, but let's say you're on a drive. I'm always talking about, excuse me, driver. But even if you're on a hike, you probably don't want to start a hike if you are feeling tired. You might, and physically exhausted, not just tired, because sometimes getting out and moving around in your body out in the world and out in nature can really fill up your tank and can make you feel better. But if you are exhausted, don't try. So don't try to declutter. Y'all, don't try to declutter when you're tired. It makes it so much worse. I want to make it easy. I do make it easy for you. I was just on a call with a client, and we find the sweet spot of the day, of the week, of the time, where it feels easy to do it that time, do it at that time. Okay? KC2K says, I dread making a plan. I love making plans. You know why? Because plans are what gets shit done. And planning a vacation, planning a trip, planning a road trip, making a plan and getting things done, planning on going to see a friend, planning on going to a show, planning on having something tasty for dinner. A plan is how you get stuff done. If you don't want to make a plan, is it because you've made a plan before and it hasn't worked? Maybe you just have not, like your planning skills could be improved. I make that easy for you because I love to make plans. I chunk them down. I make it doable. And the more you do it, the better you get it. Okay? So, a couple of things before I leave. Oh, there we go. I love it. Carol Underwood said, I feel very motivated. Thank you for tonight's chat. You're welcome. Here's what I want to suggest to you too, and maybe this will help for the people who are, not motivated. Notice how even just showing up for a certain amount of time and listening to an encouragement voice, a voice that gives you courage, a voice that says, you got this, you can do this, the voice that says, you're worthy of doing this. Your short time on this planet should be filled with fun and delight and wonderfulness. So what can you do today to start on? If you're not there, let's work on that. Let's get more fun and wonderfulness and joy and fun. Did I already say fun and joy? Probably did. And abundance and generosity and flexibility and peace of mind and delight. Delight. Ooh, I want delight. If you want more of that in your life, decluttering will help you. It will. Because then you're not dragged down with just a bunch of stuff you bought at the store, you inherited. All of that is just stuff. We do this because I want you to feel better. And you deserve to feel good in your life. You deserve to feel better. And what I mean by that is being filled with joy and freedom and love and passion and enthusiasm. If you're not there yet, it's okay. But notice how listening to and feeling the effects of a can-do, you got this, I have every belief in you, you can do this, feeling changes how you feel. And when you feel better, you're going to do better. And when I talk about feeling better, let me just be very clear too. I know some people have said they have health issues. They're not feeling so good. Please take care of your health. Everybody. Take care of your physical health, your mental health, your neurological health, all the healths. Because when you feel better physically, you will do better in all areas. But the one thing I want to leave you with too is decision making is decluttering, and decluttering is decision making. And that happens here and here. You don't have to move your physical body at all to use your heart and your head. And when your head and your heart are in alignment, when this says yes and this says yes, what happens is your hands get activated. Head, heart, hands. And all of a sudden, when these two things are saying yes, do it, then suddenly it becomes easy for you to move your hands and to keep the stuff that you love and that brings you joy and easily release the stuff that doesn't. But it takes some practice. But it starts with encouragement, talking kind to yourself, and maybe a little bit of coaching. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah. Delight from getting rid of the heavy stuff. Okay. Um, I love it. Okay, well, I'm getting some texts here. So, here, I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you some food for thought, speaking of having a late dinner. And when you go to bed tonight in your bedroom, if your bedroom is not decluttered, spend a few moments and make it look and feel a little bit better than it did earlier today. And then tomorrow, you wake up and you do the same thing. And the next day, and the next day. Every day, if you do a little bit, you'll get there. Okay? All right. I have to go, but I will show up for another TikTok live. I can't remember when it is. Oh, how about this? For those folks who don't have a lot of time or energy during the week, I have scheduled a TikTok live for Saturday. Saturday, March, whatever it is, 9th, 11 a.m. Eastern. Write that down. If you're the kind of person whose schedule says, I can't do a lot during the week, but boy, am I going to kick the world's ass on a Saturday and a Sunday, show up, do some decluttering before 11. See how you go it alone. And then while I am showing up at 11, declutter. You can declutter while I'm talking with you. It's like a podcast. And notice the difference if you decide to declutter after I've done my TikTok live. See how much better it feels when you've got some motivation, some encouragement, you've made a plan, you're having fun. I can help you with that. Okay? Have a good one. If you haven't liked my TikTok page, please do. Beth Destination Decluttered. As somebody mentioned, I always record my TikTok lives and upload them to YouTube. And if you want to join the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, it's the first way to help you get some coaching. And also, we're doing a free group Zoom next Wednesday night. And the only way you get invited to it is if you're on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, okay? Hope that helps. There we go. Let's do something to high five each other between now and Saturday, okay? And I got this wacky thing that says live will end in 58 seconds. Happens to me occasionally on TikTok. I have no idea why, but you know what? It's the universe saying it's time to go, all right? I'll see you guys later. Bye.